Alright, let's look at this question on resultant. As you can see in this place, the question says find the resultant of forces 8 Newton and 10 Newton inclined at an angle 120. Inclined at angle 120 to each other. We need to draw this out. You can see we have a force of 8 Newton. There is another one of what? 10 Newton. But the angle between them is 120. So 120 is somewhere here, somewhere here. That is somewhere here. It means therefore this is 120. Here we have 8 Newton, 10 Newton. Okay? All you have to do now is to draw lines that are parallel to this. Remember, first of all, these are vector quantities. Okay? So we draw lines that are parallel. This line is parallel. Another line is parallel. That is, this is parallel to this is parallel to this. These are just rough hand draw, okay? They are not to perfection. Now that we have done this, the next thing we need to do now is to connect this diagonal, okay? Then we are going to extend this here so that we can draw this here too. That is 120. We are transferring it here because this angle is corresponding to this angle. What is the purpose of this? Because we want to get this angle. Because this is angle on a straight line, it means therefore to get here, we're going to say 180, which is angle on a straight line, minus 120. It means here is 60 degrees. Now we have this diagram. You agree with me? If this is 8 Newton, even here, that is parallel to this line is also 8 Newton. The same thing, this is 10 Newton, this is also 10 Newton. Okay? Now that we have this, we bring this out. That is to say, here, here, and here. Okay? This is 8 Newton. Here is 10 Newton. Here is 60. We know this is the direction, this is the direction. That's what we are looking for. We are looking for this between them. Although this is between them, but we want an angle that is facing the resultant. This is the resultant. This is the resultant. We are looking for an angle that is facing the resultant so that we can apply the cosine rule. How do we apply the cosine rule here? The cosine rule says the resultant square is equal to one of the forces square, the other one square, minus 2 multiplied by one of them, the other one, cos the angle between them, which is 60 degrees. You understand? The square of this equals to square of this plus square of this minus 2 times this and this cos this. You agree with me? This will give us 100 plus 64 minus this 80. That is 160 cos 60. This will give us 164 minus, if you solve this now, you're going to have 80. If you remove 80 from here, you're going to have 84. It means therefore r equals to the square root of 84 because we need to find r, which is the resultant. Okay? And you agree with me, this actually equals to 4 multiplied by 21, which is, the square root of this is 21. So r is equals to 2 square root of 21 Newton. Okay, that is the resultant force. Let's look at it. It says the angle between two forces of magnitude of 8 newtons and 5 newtons is 120 degrees. Find magnitude of their resultant. Okay, the magnitude of what? Their resultant. Just simply draw a line for the first one. Say this is 8 Newton. The next thing is how to get this 120. What direction do you think is 120? 120 is this direction. That is somewhere here. This is 120. Okay? So we are going to draw a line parallel to it, another line parallel to this one. So this and this, we say they are parallel. This and this are parallel, okay? So this is our 8 Newton, while this is our 5 Newton. We can transfer them as well to this side, transfer this to this side, okay? Now we are going to draw a line that is a diagonal across them. Then we are going to transfer this to this place, okay? We transfer it here, that is 120 corresponding angles, so that we can use it to get this angle. Angle on a straight line is 180 minus 120, we have 60. Why are we doing this? Because we are looking for an angle that is facing the resultant, because this is the resultant. A line that is crossing two of them, this one and this one, a line that divides them, that is diagonal, is their resultant. But we need another angle, any of the angle that is facing this line. You agree with me? This is not facing it. It's actually passing through this angle. We need something that is facing it, so that at the end of the day, we are going to draw something like this. What is this? Here is 16. Here is 8. Here is 5. Here is the R. Okay? This is the R. Here is, okay? To get R now, we say R squared is equals to, using the cosine rule, A squared plus 5 squared minus 2 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 5 cos 60 degree. Okay? So this is 64 plus 25. You agree with me? This is 60. 60 multiplied by 5. That is 80 multiplied by cos 60. Cos 60 is 0.5. Okay? So this is 89 minus 40, which is 49. R, therefore, the square root of 49, you agree with me, the square root of 49 is 7. That is 7 Newton. Okay? So we are also far n, we can actually say the n, therefore, is 7 Newton. Replacing R with n. Okay? Hope you understand this. Let's look at it. It says the resultant of two forces, S Newton and 4 Newton, is 12 Newton. If the resultant makes an angle of 30 degrees with the force 4 Newton, find the value of S. Now, first of all, draw them out. We are going to look at this as 2. There's 30 between the resultant and 4 Newton. So what I'm going to do, in this case, I will say this is a 4 Newton. I will call this one the resultant. Okay? So I will put the 30 here straight so that I will not be confused. So this is my 4 Newton. This is my resultant. So I need another line now to represent the X. Okay? So this is X. So what next should I do? I am going to draw a parallel line to this, touching here, another parallel line to this, touching here, okay? So therefore, this is this direction, this direction, this and this are having the same direction, these two are having the same direction. This is also 4 Newton, okay? So what I'm going to do now is to write S here as well, because S is here, S is here. That is S Newton, S Newton. So the next thing now is to find X. We already know this. That is this. We know that this is equals to 12 Newton. Okay? So we can draw out a rough diagram like this, like this, like this. Okay? This is 12 Newton. This is S Newton. This is 4 Newton. This is 30 degree. We can find S from here. We are going to apply the cosine rules. The cosine rule simply says whenever you are looking for anything, first of all, write what you are looking for. Put square on top. The remaining line, put square for them too by adding them like this. Then you say minus 2, 2 of them. The one you know. The cosine of the angle that is facing what you are looking for. This is what you are looking for. This is the angle that is facing it. That is all. Okay? So this is 144 plus 16 minus 96 cos 30. This is 160 minus, if you do this now, you're going to have 83.14. This will give us 76.86. We do x here is equal to the square root of. If you calculate this now, you're going to have approximately 8.8 Newton. Let's look at this. It says find the magnitude of the resultant of two forces, 6 Newton and 8 Newton, acting at 240 degrees to each other. You need to listen. This is sensitive, okay? The first thing we need to do is to draw the first line, okay? Let's say this is 6 Newton. Okay, that is to say 6 Newton. But before we can draw this, we need to take note of this 240. Where should be 240? 240 should be somewhere here. Somewhere here, okay? So we are going to draw that to be somewhere here. So this is now what? 8 Newton. Remember, it is from here to here. That is 240. Okay? We need to draw parallel lines to each of them. Each of them. So this is parallel to this. This is parallel. I believe these steps, you are okay with them. So the next thing we need to do now is to transfer this also here. Also say here is also 8 Newton. Because they are parallel, they are all equal. So what do you think is here now? Here. This is a point. That is 360 minus 240 will give us this. Are you agree with me? That is 120. Are you agree with me that the resultant force we are looking at, or the resultant between the two of them, is to draw a diagonal line between them. So this is actually the resultant we are looking for. Okay? Now that we have done this now, we need to transfer this to this side. That is to say, we project this and also pull this here, 120, because this and this are corresponding angle. What is the purpose of this? So that we can get this remaining one. You agree with me? If you remove 120 from 180 and go on a straight line, you are going to get what? 60. If you do that, you just make a mistake. How do we do it? All you have to do now, always, remember, if you have been following me from the first video, we always say, whatever given to us minus 180. Unfortunately, we have a different what? Quadrant. Okay? So you have to still go ahead and say, whatever is given to you, remove it from 180. That is, remove it from 180. And you agree with me, 180 minus 240 will give us minus 60. So here should be minus. Although we are removing this from 180, the value is actually 60. But because we understand that what was given to us is not actually 120, we have to recognize the sign. It is a must. This is the way to do it. Don't just put 60 here. So now, we have something to go with. The reason why we always look for this angle is because we are looking for an angle that is facing the resultant. Angle that is facing this resultant, angle that is facing it. So therefore, we can say now that we have that rough diagram, that is this line, this line, this line. Here is minus 60, here is 6 Newton, here is 8 Newton, here is resultant. To get this resultant now, you agree with me, according to cosine rule, if the square of this equals to 6 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 8 times cos minus 60. Okay? So with this now, you agree with me, have 36 plus 64 minus 96 multiplied by cos minus 60. This is 100. 96 multiplied by minus 0.5. This will give us 100 plus 48. This is 148. R, therefore, is the square root of 148. You agree with me that this will give us the square root of 4 multiplied by 37, which is the square root of 4 multiplied by square root of 37, which will give us 2 square root of 37 in Newton. That is the value of the resultant. Okay? Hope you understand the explanation. This is the place that we cause some students this question to cost them. If you don't recognize that it is minus. All this is understood. Thank you for viewing.